Okay, good. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this cold spring morning. We were to talk about the Highway Trust Fund and about road infrastructure repair. We chose this location and we brought our yardstick because this strip here right around Chestnut Street and Bay Street was pothole marked, deep potholes over the past weekend when we drove through here. But as it would be, the New York City Department of Transportation is doing their job around the clock, and we found out this morning that they paved overnight, and so all the potholes we wanted to show you as indicative of everything that's on Staten Island is not here anymore. And so the use of this yardstick will not be necessary, but I think we all get the picture of the condition of our roads. And in fact, they were telling me that some of this paving is already starting to cave in, which means that potholes may reappear here very, very soon. So if I can hand back this yardstick, since we're not going to need it, but we all know that Staten Island's roads have been ravaged by winter, and they're riddled with craters. Whether they be here, anywhere you go on Staten Island, you see these roads riddled with craters. I think we're being joined by another. Oops, wait a second. It's okay. In fact, as we see here right in front of us, the city has patched hundreds of thousands of potholes over the past few months, including the ones we're standing out next to right here today. But we need to think beyond just the filling of potholes. We need to think bigger, because it's not just about filling potholes after another rough New York City winter. It's about funding, financing, and improving America's infrastructure for the future. It's about creating jobs and stimulating the economy while investing in and improving our aging infrastructure. What we need is a long-term solution to fund the restoration of the often crumbling U.S. transportation infrastructure while improving mass transit. New York and Staten Island in particular have got shortchanged for years with federal funds. We deserve more. We were cut by 17% in the city last fiscal year, and under this GOP budget passed by the House 2 weeks ago, transportation funding is slashed by nearly $200 billion over the next 10 years. That would only further the gap between the funding levels of what's actually needed to fix this systemic problem and what is available. The federal government is responsible for about 25% of all spending on highways, roads, and bridges in the U.S. And that money comes from the U.S. Highway Trust Fund. The Highway Trust Fund has suffered 5 revenue shortfalls between 2008 and 2014 and has been bailed out with nearly $65 billion in revenues from the general fund just to preserve the existing investment levels. Yet, even with that, there is current backlog of over $150 billion in bridge work and $775 billion in highway projects, according to United States DOT data. And so, absent any congressional action, the Highway Trust Fund is scheduled to run out of money at the end of next month, May 31st. And we just can't let that happen. So there is an innovative, no tax hike way to fully fund and increase funding to the Highway Trust Fund that I am here today to endorse. The last change made to the Highway Trust Fund was done in the early 1990s, and we can and must do it again, and we must do it today. And we can do it in a way that does not increase the gas tax on consumers. The Highway Trust Fund has been in a state of perpetual crisis for some time, and for years, as I've said, Congress has passed short-term funding limits that were little more than band-aid solutions. And House Republicans have no solutions for this problem, and that means the Highway Trust Fund can run out of money next month, abandoning many, many projects around our country. Our highways, streets, mass transit system, and bridges are in total disrepair, as we all know, and it's time we pass a real bipartisan solution to keep this fund strong and solvent. What we need is a creative and aggressive approach to addressing our nation's infrastructure priorities that will also lead to good paying construction terms. And that is why I strongly support the Bipartisan Infrastructure 2.0 Act, which was introduced by Democratic Congressman John Delaney of Baltimore and Republican Congressman Richard Hanna from upstate New York, and it is a bill, the Infrastructure 2.0 Act, which I will be proud to co-sponsor as a member of Congress. It's a bipartisan act, and the fact that it's a bipartisan act, I even like it more that it's a bipartisan act, because it increases the chances of approval and shows the way that Congress can work across the aisle, both ways, to get things done for America. This bipartisan plan to fix the Highway Trust Fund will literally and figuratively help rebuild America. The Infrastructure 2.0 Act would leverage the largesse from the overseas profits made by the U.S. multinational corporations and subject these profits to a mandatory one-time 8.75% tax. This one-time tax would inject the Highway Trust Fund with $120 billion, enough money for 6 years of solvency and increased funding levels. So that one act would solve the Highway Trust Fund issue for the next 6 years and do it at increased funding levels. The Infrastructure 2.0 That's good. The Infrastructure 2.0 Act will also provide a new, and this is important, provide a new $50 billion infrastructure fund, which would be leveraged to finance new infrastructure projects. So this $50 billion would be dedicated to new projects. Well, you know what? Here in Staten Island, we have a couple of new projects we want to try out. And so I would be there in Congress advocating to use part of that $50 billion new infrastructure fund to help finance the North Shore the West Shore Light Rail, fund a new South Shore ferry service, and even help to raise the Bayonne Bridge. Those are new projects that this federal money, this $50 billion infrastructure fund, could go to help. And I would be there to be that advocate for those projects here on Staten Island. There could even be money on this fund for new innovative proposals that would better pave our streets, and boy, do we need it. Better pave our streets, like using rubberized asphalt that would eliminate many of the potholes that we see all over the island today. It's been successful. This rubberized asphalt has been successful elsewhere. We should at least try it here on the island. I would be an advocate for bringing federal money back for a project like that. So the Infrastructure 2.0 Act is an innovative and refreshing approach to addressing America's infrastructure needs, which does not raise the gas tax on consumers. Improving infrastructure in America and putting people back to work must be our top priority. We want to increase economic growth and middle-class prosperity, and that's exactly what this does. The Infrastructure 2.0 Act is innovative. It leverages the private sector and will dramatically improve our infrastructure while putting Americans back to work. Putting Americans back to work stimulates the entire economy. And this is also something, an actual specific way that the work of Washington, D.C. can have an impact on every street and every road in our community. I often hear that in my campaign. People ask me, what can Washington do for us on a day-to-day basis? What can Washington do for us on a day-to-day basis? Well, this is one example. This Infrastructure 2.0 Act, the passage of this bill, is one way that the work of Washington can affect every street, every road in our community, and affect every person for the better. So it really is. The Infrastructure It would cover 6 years of the Highway Trust Fund at increased funding levels. So that's $120 billion for the Highway Trust Fund to continue to do what it's doing now, but at increased levels. But there's an additional $50 billion this tax would provide that would be set aside for taxes, and that is important too.
So the taxing would be on what sorts of corporations? Give some examples.
Well, the multinational corporations that now have their profits overseas, and they're not bringing them back because they don't be taxed. Tax this one-time tax would allow at 8.75%, is far less tax burden that they would otherwise face if they brought these profits back. So this would encourage them to bring the profits back. Once that tax is paid, then this frees up the ability of these multinational corporations to bring these profits back to America, reinvest in America, create jobs in America, and stimulate the economy. So this has a multi-pronged effect, not only helping to fund the Highway Trust Fund, but also bringing those profits back to America and having those corporations reinvest those profits here to create jobs here. So it's a multi-pronged effect, multi-layered effect, and that's why this is such a good piece of legislation. Yes?
On a separate topic, watch the video from South Carolina.
I saw just a snippet, because I think they stopped the video at some point, so I saw a snippet.
Do you think that situation relates in any way to what happened over the summer here on Staten Island? And as a separate question, Eric Garner has really not been much of an issue in this race thus far. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's a legal proceeding, and now the Justice Department is looking at the Eric Garner case, and so I think we're waiting to see what the Justice Department does with that. But certainly, the incident that took place the other day was tragic. It looks horrible. Any way you look at it, it's a horrible situation. But certainly, the actions taken there, I think, were the correct actions. But I don't know how you can equate the two other than the fact that the police were involved in both situations, and it was a person of color in the situation.
I know you're talking about transportation today. Does your campaign have any plan or any plans about the justice reform? Do you think that the country is in need of reform?
Well, I think in terms of when we talk about grand juries, and so, we will be talking about that and how we deal with future situations should they arise of police shootings. So that's something I'm not going to talk about here today, but something we'll talk about as we go forward.
So you will come out?
Well, no, we will talk about it in terms of the things that we do, and I'm not at this point. I've spoken about it before, so it's not something that is springing on me. It's something that I've spoken about all the time since the well, no, in terms of having cases given to other district attorneys in the city should a case arise involving a shooting of a police officer.
Just to follow up on that, yesterday the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton called for a national policing policy, that Congress should take up the vein of the Voting Rights Act or the Civil Rights Act, that there should be some kind of national policy on police accountability and on possibly body cameras. I'm wondering if that's something you'd be open to, if you
Well, I'm not going to comment on anything that Reverend Al Sharpton would say, but certainly I think those are matters that local police departments have to decide on. The fact that we are using body cameras now, Police Commissioner Grant has said that's going to be part of the repertoire. I think it's a good thing, and certainly as we move forward, I think that's going to become more and more of a commonplace thing, both in squad cars and on uniforms. Oh, by the way, let me just mention, Jessica here has showed me a bill that she's gotten for hitting a pothole, and certainly $464 bill for hitting a pothole here on Staten Island. We do $1,100. I had a $258 tire issue when I hit a pothole, and you're granted. So it is clear that this is not only annoying Okay, thank you all for coming and for staying as warm as you possibly could in this weather. We'll see you in the springtime, everybody.